Now, for the best 2 hours in radio, it's time for the Varsity Radio Show. Here's your host, Seth Henniger.
Man, we are so excited to have you here with us on the Varsity Radio Show, 88.5 JFM. Like the thing just said, the best 2 hours of radio. And what makes every show super fantastic, great, I believe great, is the people in this room. I get to work with the coolest people ever, and so today I have somebody new with me. I absolutely have enjoyed being with him, and I think you will too. My friend, Matthew Malone.
Hello, everybody. Man, it is such an honor to be on this show today. I'm excited for what the Lord has in plan.
Yeah, and Matt is so cool. He sounds like Karl Malone from the Salt Lake City, the Utah, right? I can't even remember, but I remember Karl Malone playing Michael Jordan in the 90s. But hey, also in the studio, I say also, that's always a bad word. I need to come up with a new one because we have the greatest radio producer of all time.
Yes,
I introduced Matt. I said, this guy makes it happen. He's the stuff. We call him the Willy Wonka of radio because little Oompa Loompas run around behind his desk over there. You don't believe us, come on to our Facebook Live and you still won't see them, but they're there, okay? So anyway, our friend, our producer, he's going in the Hall of Fame one day, I'm convinced. Steven Spiegel!
What's up, everybody? Hope you're having a great day so far. Got a great show lined up for you.
Yeah, it's going to be really good. We got Douglas Eagles are going to be here. It's going to be really fantastic to have them. Like I said, I get to hang out with Matthew Malone, also related to Karl Malone. And we're going to have some fun. So let's get started with some fun stuff. I call this Meme of the Week.
Memes of the Week.
All right, this is fantastic because this is so true. I want you to comment on this, Steven, if you feel this way. There's a picture of a girl looking out the window, and it says, it's pitch black out. What time is it? Is it midnight? It feels like midnight. And somebody looks at her and says, no, it's 5:27. Right?
It's crazy.
Have y'all felt this way?
I've never felt so rested in all my life because I keep going to bed earlier and earlier because of this time change. It's crazy.
Messing with me.
Yeah.
I tell you what, Sunday we had something Sunday night. And so, like, I did not feel the effects of it till last night. And then I'm like, it's time to put the kids down because it was dark outside. It was 5 o'clock. I'm like, come on! You been there, Matt?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And there's two kinds of people in this world. There's people who've already started celebrating Christmas, like the day that midnight hit. Halloween hit midnight.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's people who get mad at those people. Where do you fall in that?
Well, I'll definitely tell you that we have Christmas stuff up in our house.
Already?
Currently. Right now. Not the tree, but we have decorations.
Now, Steven, I've never asked you this. How do you fit on that little bar?
I like to wait as long as possible.
Long as possible? Why? What is...
Just because I don't like putting the tree up. I don't, my wife loves
That's
it. My
solid.
daughter loves it.
That's
But me,
solid.
not so much.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I totally get that.
It's just not high up on my priority list.
So this meme speaks to what I just said. There's a seagull, and it says October 31st, and his head cranks back as far as it humanly possibly can on November 1st. It says just, and then forward.
Yep.
Hear those sleigh bells jingling, ring ting tingling too. Right?
Yes.
It's elf.
Yes.
If elf were a person, it'd be that bird. And then there's this one. It's got the Grinch. It says, can we listen to something other than Christmas music? Grinch turns around, stops the car, opens the door, pushes the person out. This is not a good suggestion.
No.
I've seen this meme so many times, just different ways. But that's hilarious. And then there's people like Steven. People like Steven. You want to read that one right here? Explain what we're looking at?
Here's a picture of my Christmas tree.
Okay.
It's still in the shed because it's November.
Is that you, Steven?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. As long as possible.
Oh, yeah.
I saw that. I said two sides. And then there's this with the dog, with the tree in the back. It said, thank goodness you're home. The Christmas tree has fainted.
Wow. Wow.
That's funny. And then I would like to state how I want my kids to treat me this year. And it says Christmas 2022. You want more presents, you go colder. You want fewer presents, you make it hotter. And this is how it should be in our church office also. I'd like to
that.
state that. And for
Yes.
kids, is it this way at your house, Stephen? Are you usually the hot one? Or
Yeah, usually.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So you have to get on to Gracie and...
Grace doesn't usually mess with the thermostat. My
That's
wife,
good.
on the other hand, she has her own little space heater, so she's good whenever.
Okay.
She's usually
Okay.
using that space heater year round. So.
Did you hear that? That's
Yeah.
called being married for a while. I'm figuring things out. That's all. Hold your horses. This guy's literally holding his horse. I had to add that. That's so good. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so good. Hey, I tell you what else is fantastic. And my friend Matthew, he got to experience it. I think for the first time, the Char Burger.
Was great.
Home of the famous Char Grilled Wildcat Burger, which you had.
Yes.
And
yes.
delicious.
It was very good.
Yeah.
Very good.
Philly cheesesteaks, jumbo crispy onion rings. Fantastic place. They're open from 7 to 3. And then B&B Video Games. I've been spending a good bit of time here lately. I love B&B. They have a video game retail store in the front. They have a 80s style arcade. Have you ever been? Matt,
Never.
This is a great youth outing. You know why? Because you pay once and you play as long as you want without... You don't remember this because you're young. But me and Steven had to carry a pocket full of quarters. And you don't have to do that when you go to B&B. You just pay once and you play all day.
Wow.
50 arcade games. Fantastic. B&B Video Games. Hey, we're going to take a quick musical break before we bring in Fellowship of Christian Athletes. Join us over on the Facebook Live now. Check us out. Yeah, so I learned, I don't know if you've noticed this, but every year it seems like they put out Christmas earlier and earlier.
Yes.
And I'll be honest, I'm not Steven. I kind of want the Christmas up now, but at the same time I was blown away that it was September and I was seeing Christmas start coming up in Walmart, right? They're like the outlier of when Christmas should start,
Yeah.
apparently. And we had Christmas and Thanksgiving and Halloween. What is up with that, Steven?
I don't know if this is true or not, but I heard Costco already has their 4th of July stuff out.
No!
So,
Okay.
That's sacrilegious.
getting
Yeah.
ahead of it, you know.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
the best solution I saw to this, Matthew, is people like who want to keep their Christmas tree up all year long,
Yeah.
and they just dress out their Christmas. Have you seen this, Steven? They dress out their Christmas tree based on the holiday.
Yeah.
Yes.
Could be a Valentine's tree. It can be a 4th of July
Right?
tree. Yeah, I've seen it.
That's semi-genius. If
But
you
I wonder
really
about
like
those people who have like 5 Christmas trees around their house.
I know
That's a
some
lot of
people like
ornaments,
that.
You know?
Well, my mom has 3.
Yeah.
Okay. And they've been multiplying. I don't know what's happening at the house, but they've multiplied over the years. And she has one that she does, with the main one, and she does in like gold and silver and white, which is beautiful. And then she's got one that she does red bird. It's a red bird tree, so she put red bird ornaments, everything on it. And then she's got one with all the ornaments from me and my brother's childhood. And so that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's neat.
My mom's house looks like a Hallmark movie.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Generally,
Is
every
she one
Christmas.
that keeps the tree up all year?
No.
Okay.
No. This is my mom. She breaks my heart. So Christmas, this is how it was in my house. So you put the tree up around Thanksgiving, right? Well, now she does before because the whole family comes over and she wants it up then. She puts the Christmas trees up. Beautiful house. On Christmas Day, we open presents. And as soon as the presents are open, she goes into this mode of, okay, take it down. Can we not have a little nostalgia, please? It's Christmas Day. Please, can we make it to the 26th with the tree up?
Right.
Right?
Yes. Now I will say, after it's over, if
You're ready.
if I don't get to it, like at least within like 2 days, it's going to be like 2 weeks. So it's got to get
That's
done.
true,
It's got to get
Matthew.
done. But that, yeah, little
No,
soon.
Matthew,
Little
that's
soon.
true. I will say that's true because me and my wife find ourselves there in January like, okay, it's still up. I guess we need to get it down.
Yeah.
And now we have 2 trees.
Funny story. So my church, we actually, in 2020, due to COVID, we did not have a Christmas play. Our church is huge on doing Christmas plays.
Right.
And so we had to not do that during Christmas time in 2020. However, in the New Year's, things started to kind of clear up a little bit, and we brought Christmas into the new year.
How'd that
and we
go?
did. It went pretty well, actually, but I thought it was so unique that we brought Christmas
You just kept
in
it.
January. Yeah, we did. It was very interesting.
I've never had a year like 2020 where I wanted it to be over so bad. I don't know what it was. It's a rough year.
I think a lot of good things though have come out of that year.
I do too.
You know,
I do too.
I
think it was that year though.
I wouldn't be where I am today if it wasn't for COVID. Actually, truly, because I was set in college, and because of it, I had to come here. And if it wasn't for those things lining up, I would never become a youth pastor because I would have been going on another route, completely different.
It's kind of a big deal.
He works all things together. That's for sure.
Yeah. I like
that is
that.
for sure.
So, anyway, I love Christmas though. Mm-hmm. Okay, I don't know about you.
So good.
Somebody's calling me from Temple, Texas. That's got to be important and real. Whatever. Okay. Anyway,
spam call.
yeah. Not answering that. I don't know anybody from Temple, Texas. Just for the record, whenever you get one from like the Bahamas, like that's got to be legit.
Yeah.
Right. It's totally legit. Never. Okay. Anyway, don't answer those. But yeah, I love Christmas. I love we go to the tree lighting ceremony. Mm-hmm. We go to the night before Christmas in downtown Gunnersville. We like the Christmas parades, Christmas in the park in Arab, because that's where I grew up. And so, man, I love Christmas. I do. I'm not ready for it to be over on the 26th.
Yeah,
so.
It comes and goes way too fast.
So, how'd it go with you and your wife? Was your first Christmas together?
Yes,
Yeah.
this last one.
How was that?
It was awesome. It was awesome. We're learning to make our, because every family has their own traditions, their own things. So we're learning to create our own. And not just copy what, we've grown up with. We're learning to make our own.
Right.
But yes, it's awesome.
Fantastic.
Yes. I think what I love about it the most is around this time of the year.
Yeah.
Thanksgiving and Christmas. It's really the time where we kind of lay aside. Well, if we do the year right, it could either be this way or become the busiest time of the year. But if we do it right, we lay down the busyness, we lay down all the distractions, and we actually surround ourselves with people that matters the most.
Yeah.
And I think us, the family, if you think about it, 10 months out of the year, families, everybody's doing their own thing. They got sports, school, work, all of this. But you get to this end of the year, you get to come back together. So, yeah.
This is Candy Armstrong. Matthew, I don't know if you've ever met her.
Hi.
How are you doing?
I'm doing awesome.
She's a celebrity on the show, so.
That's a negative.
And in real life.
15 seconds, guys, till we hit this FCA moment of the week. All right, Candy, we'll be right back.
Okay, thanks.
Mm-hmm.
FCA Moment of the Week.
And that sound lets you know that the one, the only, the famous, the infamous Candy Armstrong is here. Come on, everybody. We need a hand clap for that if we have one hit right now. Candy!
What's up?
How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. How are y'all?
Man, we get to talk to Candy today. It's a good day. So, tell us, Candy, what's going on in Fellowship of Christian Athletes?
Oh, goodness. Iron Bowl is next week.
What?
Or I should say the Iron Bowl prayer breakfasts are next week. So
Yes.
we are up to our eyeballs and trying to get that done. But yeah, it's exciting.
Yeah.
The traveling circus will be on the road next week.
Come on.
Hey, I can barely hear you.
Oh, can you hear me now?
No, and I got my volume all the way up.
That's strange.
Oh,
right.
I can hear Steve really well.
I'll try to work on it for you.
Okay, that's fine.
So tell us.
No, we are gearing up for the Iron Bowl prayer breakfast that will kick off. We will leave next Tuesday and go start setting up for Coleman County. Coleman's will be Wednesday, November the 16th at 6:30 a.m. That's going to be at Coleman First Baptist Church.
Yeah.
And then we will leave there and go set up in Gunnersville.
Come
we'll
on.
be there close to you guys.
Down the road.
Thursday, March the 17th at 6 a.m. We want to see you guys there. And then we will come back to Huntsville. And on Friday, November the 18th at 6:45, we will be at the First Baptist Church in Huntsville there on Governor's Drive. So all the information on Iron Bowl Prayer Breakfast, all the speakers, If you want to purchase tickets, you can call our office at 256-509-3692. We can get that taken care of. All of our posters and everything are online if you want to go and check those out. Download them, hang them in your businesses, whatnot. It's all there. But yeah, that's going on next week. And then there's some that's in camp planning as we speak, getting ready for next summer. But with that being said, we are now taking intern sign-ups. So if you're interested, any kids entering their junior, senior, or college age, we are now doing registration sign-ups interest for our internship next year. That can be found on the website as well at northalabamafca.org. And we will have an intern interest meeting actually with all of them in February. I believe it's February the 5th at Cove Church.
Wow.
And then, of course, Thanksgiving will be here before we know it. It's just a couple of weeks away, and we're going to be having our Black Friday special for camp and PLT. So lots of discounts there. We'll have all of the camp should be online. The PLT Black Friday will be online soon, so it's not quite there yet. And then January, we have our Coach Spouse Weekend. So all you coaches out there, we would love to have you attend it. It is a really great weekend. We've got some good speakers coming this year. We've actually got a Christian comedian that's coming. Saw him on video. Super, super, super funny guy. But that's in January 13th through the 15th. It's Martin Luther King weekend.
Nice.
It's going to be held at the Embassy Suites this year, so everything will take place there. But everything that I've talked about, if you want to see past events, want to learn more about FCA, just go to our website, northalabamafca.org, and you'll find it all there. But busy time of year. I'm waiting on our pecans to be delivered as we speak, so they will be here today. So we'll start distributing those out into the community to our partners and whatnot, and just a lot going on.
Yeah,
It's busy. Huddles are winding down. I think I mentioned this last week. Huddles are winding down for the semester. A lot of people getting ready for the holidays, so we are beginning to not completely close them down, but kind of slowing down, I guess you could say, so to speak, because they've got finals and different things coming up. So we've slacked off a little bit, but not much. We're still meeting, just not as often. But anyway, lots of cool stuff going on with FCA.
Yeah.
And if you're not plugged in, please check us out online and see what all we've got going on for the community, for the coaches, different students. You do not have to be an athlete to be a participant of FCA. We are about sharing the gospel, bringing truth to everybody, not just athletes. Yes, we focus on coaches and athletes, but we have interns who have never played a sport a day in their life. We have some that's in the band. That doesn't matter.
That's awesome.
If you want to be a part of something positive in your school and in your community, please contact us.
Yeah, it's like I
We'd
said.
love to have you on board.
It's like I said, huddles are huge because they're basically your small group in your school. Mm-hmm. They're a big deal, and I actually got to speak at one this morning, Candy.
I know, I heard. I was so excited when I heard you were going.
It was so fun. It was so fun, and it was 3rd through 5th grade kids, but man, they were fantastic.
Yeah, they are. We have coaches breakfast going on too. Actually, Jamie and I were at Grissom this morning, and they'll be going to Vinemont tomorrow, and then we're going to Sparkman on Friday. So investing a lot in the coaches. We were at Hazel Green last week, and so just trying to hit up our coaches and just be an encouragement to them and to let them know how appreciative we are of what they do, because the coach has the most influence on those athletes in the school. They spend the most time with them, and so we just try to say thank you. We may take Jack's, we may take Chick-fil-A or whatever, but it's just a small token to say thank you for what all they do. It doesn't put a dent in it, but at least it gets us there to where we can meet them face to face and tell them thank you for what they do.
So good. I love FCA. I love Candy
We love you
Armstrong.
guys, and we're so glad y'all are a huge supporter of us. We could not do what we do without you guys. That's
Big,
for sure.
big fans of Candy Armstrong. So if you want her autograph, she'll be at Gunnersville High School Auditorium next. It's going to be early, but it's worth the autograph.
It is going to be early. 6
next
o'clock,
Thursday
8
morning.
County. Yes. Oh, and also for those football teams out there too, if you bring your football team, if they come in their jersey with their coach, the team that brings the most players dressed with their jersey, they're going to win a free Baumhauer's wing dinner.
Okay, let me make an announcement that follows up on that. Any football team that wants to give me a jersey to participate and look like I'm on your team, to win a gift certificate to Baumhauer's, I'm here for you for the buying.
And we also have a pretty good prize we're going to be giving away at each one of the Iron Bowl. And we will also be giving away PLT scholarships.
Nice.
We'll give it to a guy and a girl at each one of them. So we'll be giving away 6 scholarships next week as well.
Come on.
PLT, which is going to be a huge event. We're so excited.
Right, so if you want to win, I'll give you my phone number.
Hey, there you go.
I am so glad that we got to talk to you, Miss Candy. You are fantastic. Everything your organization does has been tremendous. And we hope that you'll choose to be a part of Fellowship of Christian Athletes. It's changing the school, small group style. Go be a part of it. Thank you, Miss Candy.
Yes. Hey, and one thing I want to make sure, too, the Iron Bowl Prayer Breakfast is just not for students, not just for people at Gunnersville High School. It is a community event. So parents, pastors, businessmen and women, moms, dads, y'all are all welcome to come. Tickets will be $10 at the door. If you want tickets before or you want a group to come, just contact me at 256-509-3692 and I can make sure that I get you those tickets for your group. But yes, we'd love to have you. But it's a community event, not just a school event. It's just held at the high school.
So good. Thank you, Candy. You made our day. Yet again.
Y'all have a good week.
You too.
Thanks. Appreciate you guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Candy Armstrong is one of the most fantastic. Let me tell you something, Matthew, that I love about FCA. I will get text from people like Ken and her at random times when I need them the most that say, hey, Seth, she'll say it like this: I'm in the war room praying for you.
Wow.
And is there anything I can pray specifically about?
Yeah.
Matthew, when we started this show, I had no idea how much Fellowship of Christian Athletes actually really did. And I have learned they affect so much in this county, more than just, because when I grew up, it was just your huddle. That's what they call it now. They didn't call it then. It was just, hey, we're going to give you a biscuit and come out. You know, now they are doing huddles. I did one this morning at Cherokee Elementary School. That was so fun. I'm going to be speaking at one at the middle school. So if you go to Gunnersville Middle School, I get to see you this week. If you go to FCA, it's going to be great. But what's really cool is how they minister to coaches, how they minister to ministers, I've been at those coaches' breakfasts. They're just really cool.
That is awesome.
Just really cool.
That is awesome, man.
So if you're not involved in FCA, you should be.
You know, I used to be. Actually, before I became the youth pastor, when I was at college, I was able to be blessed with the opportunity to lead an FCA group there at Wallace State Community College, and it went awesome. And they are really, really awesome in making sure you have what you need, especially food.
Yes.
They will come alongside and help you in what they need.
That is essential with college students.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Do they still have the BCM at Wallace State?
They do.
Awesome.
Yes.
I was a part of that.
You was.
I sure was.
Who was
Christy was her name.
Yes.
Yeah.
She
came in,
amazing.
I think the second year I was there. Before that, it was another guy who ended up going to Tuscaloosa. I can't remember his name. But yeah.
It was traded.
That is
good
awesome.
times.
Christy is still there and doing a phenomenal job.
Awesome.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes.
She took us out to a retreat one time. I'll never forget it. We had this huge wrestling match back in the bunk room.
Oh, man.
My gosh. It
How
was
much
fun.
did you break, Steven?
Let's just say, I was never beat, so
Hey,
I came out on top.
Stephen, I believe that.
Yeah.
Did you wrestle in school?
No, I didn't. But I could.
Look, you
I
were
could hold
missing
my
it.
own.
You were missing it.
You know.
You know, when God gives you a spiritual gift, Stephen, I know you can sing, but had we known you could wrestle, we could have created you a name.
Yeah.
And you know,
I'm
I don't know. I'm sitting here
kind of
thinking.
scared to wonder what that name would be.
I'm trying. In my mind right now, I'm working on it. So
You just keep on working
Willy
on that.
Wonka. Willy Wonka. He's got, you know, the Johnny Depp Willy Wonka. He's kind of creepy.
He's very creepy.
You know.
Yeah, I saw him do his Willy Wonka recently on TikTok. It was kind of freaky.
I will say this, okay? Y'all can argue with me. I think Johnny Depp's very best role that he did better than anything else was Pirates of the Caribbean.
Captain Jack Sparrow. Yep.
Yeah.
He did that so good. So when I watched that and then I watched Willy Wonka, I'm like, how are they the same person?
Oh. And then Edward Scissorhands?
Yes. Now
All
that
these
was
different
also
roles.
a weird movie.
Yeah. The
But
Mad
Jack
Hatter.
Sparrow wasn't. Jack Sparrow wasn't.
He
That
did a
was
good Mad Hatter, though.
Yeah, he did. He did good in that. But do you agree with me? You think he's better in another movie?
No, I think that's it. I think Pirates of the Caribbean is
I
going
think
to be
he
his
nailed
best.
it.
Yeah.
I think he nailed it. I think that's his lifelong.
I just wonder how many hundreds
Connection.
of millions of dollars that made him. Because
A lot.
Disney, they're
'Cause-
rolling in the dough.
Well, yeah, I mean, how many did they make? Like 3 or 4?
It's been a few, yeah.
I was in Scotland when I watched one of them. I watched Pirates of the Caribbean in Scotland. That was cool.
Yeah.
So, but I love the Pirates of the Caribbean.
Mm-hmm.
I do, and I think he plays that is his best character.
Yeah.
Best character. I have seen him, Steven, you probably have on TikTok and stuff like that, where he will show up full character,
Yeah.
and somebody will think he's just like, you know, just want a hired staff, and he's full blown legit Johnny Depp.
Wow.
Yeah. At the Pirates of the Caribbean ride.
Yes.
Yeah. I know
Isn't
what you
that
mean.
awesome?
It really is.
So-
Guess who else is coming back?
Who?
Guess who else is coming back to his superhero role? It's a guy you've probably seen him. He's in the DC universe. So let me just pull this up real quick, and we'll
Don't
hit
get me
it.
emotional over here,
No,
Steven.
not at all, not at all. And let's see if I can pull this off. There we go.
Everyone, I wanted to wait until the weekend was over before posting this because I wanted to give you all a chance to watch Black Adam. But now that plenty of you have, I wanted to make it official that I am back as Superman. And
Nice.
the image you see on this post and what you saw in Black Adam are just a very small taste of things to come. So there's a lot to be thankful for, and I'll get to that in time. But I want to thank you guys most of all. Thank you for your support, and thank you for your patience. I promise it will be rewarded.
How cool is that?
Batman's back.
Superman.
Oh, Superman. Batman did come back this
All right,
year.
let's do some clutch, shall we?
Yep.
All right, here we go.
Superman.
WJIA Guntersville, streaming online at 885jfm.com. The clutch moment.
Yeah, and I am, this week and next week, I'll be talking about coming to the table. I'm talking about characters in the Bible that came to the table with Jesus and how that affected them. And it's Thanksgiving.
Yes.
And so during Thanksgiving, it's a natural part of the year where we actually sit around and, like you said, we think about the things that we're most grateful for. And this Thanksgiving season is upon us, and for, like I said, this week and next week, I want to talk about gratitude. I have heard it said that the dove of the Holy Spirit flies off of the house when we're not grateful. John Maxwell said that. So good. Also, John Maxwell said this. Also said, gratitude is the librarian of our past, the speaker of our present, and the prophet of our future.
Wow.
That's good.
That's amazing.
That's good. And I believe that.
Yes.
I believe when we're not grateful, it's an attitude change that changes everything towards the negative, right?
100%.
When God's given us so many things to be grateful for. Now, Matthew, talking with you, you probably have. Have you ever been out of the country before?
Yeah, out of the United States?
Yes.
No, never.
Okay. I have been to these countries where extreme poverty actually exists, where people live in shacks, where they live, and it makes you appreciate very much the things we have.
Yeah.
And how God's good to us. And so I think it's so important because we can so easily forget what we do have because we're focusing on what we don't have.
Yeah.
So there's this story in the Bible, and I'm going to ask you to pronounce this name in a minute.
Don't ask me.
And when I hear and read it, it moves me because it's about somebody in the Bible who truly lived out, had to have lived out this principle of gratitude. And his name is, you've got it in front of you. Can you say it?
There's no way, brother.
Say it
I'm
for
so
me.
sorry.
Come on, Matthew.
I just can't.
Stephen, can you say it?
Mephibosheth.
Come on, there it is. Mephibosheth.
Mephibosheth.
Yeah,
See, I
yeah.
can't even hearing it. It's
Oh,
difficult.
yeah. Oh, yeah. And this story's found in 2 Samuel 9, 1 through 13. And the story goes like this. Mephibosheth is the son of Jonathan. And if we know anything about the Bible, we know that David and Jonathan were best friends.
Yes.
Saul was the first king of Israel. Jonathan was his son, right?
Mm-hmm.
When the day that Saul and Jonathan were killed and died in battle, Mephibosheth's nanny or nurse took Mephibosheth, ran out the door, dropped him, and he was crippled for the rest of his life. Okay, this is important to the story, right? And then what do we learn about kings when new kings take over? Do you know what happens when new kings take over? That king usually wipes out the entire bloodline of the former king. So he usually kills everybody. So what David does is he comes to somebody who knew Mephibosheth or knew Jonathan's family and Saul's family and said, is there anybody left that I can bless from that family? Mephibosheth comes in. He's terrified. He thinks, this is it. I'm about to die. I'm already a cripple. I've been hiding. It's been, rough.
Yeah.
And now I'm going to die. And David says, hold on. I want to bless you. I'm going to give you back every bit of land that Saul owned.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm restoring everything. I'm going to restore all your name. I'm going to restore it all. But not only that, I want you to eat at the table with me.
Come on.
From now on. This is good. This is good. So I want to talk about some lessons from this story. So Mephibosheth got to sit at King David's table for the rest of his life. So the first lesson is David went to a low place to find Mephibosheth. And we know in the Bible that God does, David very much represents eventually what Jesus will do.
Yes.
Right? And so my question is, how does Jesus sometimes come into our low place and pull us out? Because he does a lot like David did Mephibosheth. He went to this place called Lodabar, which is this horrible place.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to be there. You've lived in one of those places or you've driven through them. Like, you wouldn't want to live there.
Yeah.
And he's in this place where he's trying to be forgotten. And David comes to find him. So how does Jesus, like David did, sometimes come into our low place and pull us out, Matthew?
Yeah, man, that's such a great question. When I think of that, I think of just how Jesus, how he humbled himself down to sink into the frailty of humanity.
Yeah.
To like, he's our high priest in all ways.
Yeah.
He knows how we were tempted. He knows what it's like to feel what we feel.
Right.
Man, when I just think of that, with him being all God yet all man, so that he could relate with us in that way. And when we go to him in prayer and we know that going in, like we're not talking to someone distant or who doesn't understand.
No.
We're talking to someone who knows, who in all ways was tempted in the same way that we are. And I think just knowing that fact when we go to be with him, that he knows, he sees us. The shortest verse in the Bible is that Jesus wept.
Yeah.
He
It's
understands.
good. I like
man.
that he did.
He understands, yes.
That he felt emotion when he was God and could change anything.
Yes.
The second thing I want to say is David redeems Mephibosheth's identity. Mephibosheth very much thought David was going to kill him. In fact, it's what kings normally did to the families. This was normal. And so he had every right to feel this way in their lineage. So in the past, this is for you, Matthew. In the past, have you seen Jesus redeem people's identities?
Absolutely.
Tell us about that.
Man, just thinking about that story, you hear the scripture about how David was a man after God's own heart, right?
Yeah.
You see that manifested right here.
Yeah.
Like he did the complete opposite of what a king would do, which is destroy. He came and he blessed and he gave.
Right.
If you want to know what the heart of God is like, this story right here sums that up pretty well.
That's what God says about David.
Yes.
Man after God's own heart.
I mean, Jesus in himself, I think understanding that who we are when we say yes to him, when we believe in him, we are then engrafted in Christ.
Yeah.
And I think understanding that how we see ourselves from this day forward, from the moment you receive Jesus, you are no longer defined by what you do or your talents or gifts, but you are defined by knowing that you are a child of God.
So good.
And Jesus is the bridge to that. He restores you back to being engrafted into the family of God. And I think that redeems our identity. If we see ourselves through that lens, man, life becomes so much better.
Yeah.
So much better.
The last point I want to talk about is David, and I love this. This is my favorite point. He creates a place at the table for Mephibosheth. Because this is what we learn from this. When you eat at the king's table, you become part of the family.
Yeah.
Nobody sits at the table with the king without being close to the king.
That's right.
You don't. Only people close to the king, this is good, sit close to the table with the king. And then this, when you sit at the table, all your imperfections are covered.
That's it.
Right?
Man. Yeah.
Because if you're sitting here, you can't see the crippled Mephibosheth. So what is the benefit of getting to sit at the table with Jesus? And this is what we're going to end with.
So, I mean, just what you just said there, all of his impurities were covered.
Yeah.
He's sitting here, and first of all, he's close. He's close. He's close to the King. We, through Jesus, become close to the Father.
Yeah.
And we realize that Jesus didn't just come to save us from our sins, but he actually made it as if that we never sinned before the Father.
Yeah.
When he looks at us, he's looking at Jesus. And I think just having the awareness of that, man, knowing that we are the righteousness of God because of what Jesus did for us, understanding the fullness of that, not just a little bit of that, not just a watered down, condensed version of that, but my goodness, understanding what Jesus' blood applied to our life means for us today and what we can do because of that, man. It just becomes the most rich thing in the entire world.
So good. Hey, let's pray over you right now. God, we come to you and we pray, God, that you would help us to understand that you want us at the table, that you redeem our identity, that you leave us a seat at the table to be family, not just to make it, but to have a fellowship and a personal story with God. God, help us understand how much you love us, how much you want us to be a part of your family. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
That sounded fun.
Aquí estoy. It's a new one from, let's see, Elevation Rhythm.
That sounded a lot of fun.
It's
hey,
good.
They were at convention last year, Elevation Rhythm.
Mm-hmm.
Their lead singer, he's from South Africa.
Cool.
He is super cool, Steven. You talk about somebody who can dance.
Oh,
Yeah.
I know who you're talking about.
That
Yes.
man can dance. Like, he straight up. I was embarrassed by how little I could dance after I watched him dance.
His personality is
Oh,
huge.
he's fantastic.
Huge, yeah.
He's got that South African accent. There they are. These guys. Man. They are some big dudes right there. The fun stuff. Hey, our athletes have arrived. Y'all can all breathe easy. Or I can breathe easy. Matthew, I've enjoyed this, man.
It's been a blast, man.
It's been fun. So anyway, we are so glad you're out there with us, Facebook world. At one point, we had 10 of you watching us. So Sherry Fontaine, awesome. Sherry Fontaine, you're telling this story when my son is going to be on later. His name is Jonathan David. Jonathan David, we named him that because of the story of their friendship. That is so good. Teresa Cahella, one of my favorite people. Matthew Malone, you are awesome. Check this out, Stephen. You got to hear this. Sherry Fontaine is the mother of Jonathan that you just sat down. Listen to this. Awesome, you're telling this story when my son is going to be on later. His name is Jonathan David. We named him that because of the story of their friendship.
That's cool.
The one we just spoke.
Yeah.
The one we.
And you didn't know that.
I
going
had
in.
no idea.
Look at that, man.
I had no idea. That is so cool. Hey, by the way, Miss Sherry, if there's any questions you want us to ask your son, any stories that you'd like to tell us about your son, live on here, we are watching it the whole time, just so you know. Teresa Cahella, you got fans, man.
Shout out, Teresa. Love you so much. She's awesome.
Steven, will you make us laugh? I need to laugh every Tuesday.
Sure, I got some stuff for you here.
You're such a gift in that area. So,
all right, let me see.
Steven's got skills.
So, there's a lot of, I don't know, what's a good word to use? Maybe it's, give me a second. What's a good word?
I don't know.
A lot of horsing around. That's what I was
There
looking
it
for.
is, there it
That
is.
happens on the farm. I mean, really. See,
Hold
the pun,
your horses.
I meant that pun. Okay, so sometimes it's the donkey, sometimes it's the duck. But you know what? They're at each other all the time. And here's what happens when everything goes down.
All right, here we go. Oh! Oh. Wow.
Who got the
Wow.
last laugh?
Wow.
The donkey did.
Man.
Yeah.
Wow.
There you go.
It's a good thing nobody likes to eat donkey. Wow, Steven.
There you
I don't
go.
even know where to go from
Right,
that.
right.
Golly.
Yeah, good stuff.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That was brutal.
So let's come off of the farm. Let's go into the house, and we're gonna make dinner, right? And you're
Yes.
following a recipe. You have to measure out stuff.
Right.
Maybe you need a tablespoon of this, maybe a cup of that, a
Right.
quarter of a cup of this.
Yes.
Well, sometimes you can cut corners, but there's a real truth about cutting corners. I think you're gonna know exactly what I'm talking about.
You need a tablespoon for cooking?
You can't eat and everybody high. Whoa, you can't eat everybody high.
Oh, I like that bass.
You can't eat. You can't eat. You can't eat at everybody house.
You gonna tell her?
Why it's called a butter knife. Goodness.
We need to see that one
Wow.
more time off the top.
Wow.
I just want to see
Wow.
where she bites it
You
and
need a
spits it
tablespoon
in.
I
for
missed
cooking?
that. Jeez. Oh! That's,
And then they start singing.
Oh!
Yeah. Uh-huh.
oh!
You don't want to eat at that house.
No.
Oh! The
You're
song
welcome.
was legit. by
It
the
really
way.
was. That dude,
The
his bass
the
voice
bass.
is amazing.
I don't know what it is about people who can do bass like that, but that so impresses me.
And the funniest thing about it is usually you think somebody has a bass voice, they'd be real big, but lots of times they're not. They're skinny as a rail. And they're
He-
tall, but they're skinny.
I don't know what it is about that bass voice. It just makes you feel warm and fuzzy inside.
Yeah.
Doesn't it?
Yeah.
Doesn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, man, Steven.
Well, sometimes you come in from the farm, so your animals... Don't you
Here we
think
go.
your animals would want to come in from the farm
Yes.
too? Don't
Yes,
you think
I
they
do.
would love the amenities that you have inside of your
Yes.
home?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, this horse really does.
Little girl, excuse me. Anybody using the bathroom? I gotta take a shower.
Oh, wow.
Take a shower. Hey, where the mane and tail shampoo at?
What is that, George?
Mane and tail?
You don't know what that is? It makes your hair soft, silky, and shiny. I bought a bottle the other day. I left it up here on the counter. I don't see it nowhere.
What are you doing?
I'm trying to take a shower and shampoo my mane.
Oh my gosh.
That kid laughing was part
That's
of
great.
the best part.
But that's Rockstar. I had to get a
That's-
Rockstar video in
Love
there.
Rockstar. My kids,
Yeah.
so Steven, thanks to you,
Uh-huh.
I introduced a compilation of Rockstar to my kids.
Yeah.
And they are madly in love with the Rockstar videos.
Yeah.
And so they want to watch them all the time now.
So what
Which is
happened,
okay with me.
What happens Sunday? Do you ever watch football? Either one of you ever watch football on Sundays?
Used to.
Yeah.
I haven't in a while.
Okay.
I need to.
How about you?
Normally not.
No?
Sundays are super busy.
Super busy. I got you. I got you, man. So sometimes we make, we kind of are obliged to do things that our wives want us to do. When we want to watch a football game, she might have something else in mind.
It's good
But,
preaching.
You know, with good preaching,
Yeah.
with all these technological devices here, you can have a
Mm-hmm.
game on just about everywhere. Well, this guy, he he told his wife he'd be watching a movie with her on Sunday.
Nice.
But he had other things going on too, and I think he's a genius. Look at this.
Oh, wait for it.
Wow.
The projector on the ceiling.
Wow.
You don't have to have the sound up. You just got to be able to see it, you know?
Question.
Yeah.
How long does it take his wife to figure out? Like, mine is a smart genius of
Oh,
a woman.
Yeah.
I would never get away with that.
Never.
She would see that before me, Steven.
Oh, she would know that you've set it up. I mean, she would definitely see it. It's just you coming down to the fact
she wants
that...
you to be in the room with her.
Exactly.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
So you're
Yep.
together.
Yeah.
You might
Yes.
look up at the game every now and then look back down, but that's all good.
I mean, that's kind of convenient. Why don't we do that all the time?
There you go,
I
man.
mean-
multitask.
I just, lay down, look at the ceiling,
Uh-huh.
watch the game. I like that idea.
That's the best
I mean-
place when you're laying down anyway, is on the ceiling. So
At my son's dentist, they have TVs on the ceiling.
yeah.
And I think it's the coolest thing ever.
Right.
I mean, this is just that for me.
Mm-hmm.
I need this.
That's next level.
I need this, Steven.
Yeah.
You know what to get me for Christmas, Steven. or tell my wife, one of y'all. Yeah. I would like a screen on the ceiling.
Mm.
So
'Cause-
one last video for you, because
Yeah.
you're gonna get hungry after watching a movie, right?
Yes.
You got some popcorn going, but really you're gonna need a meal. And so with that meal, maybe you have this in mind. It's pretty tasty.
Oh.
Hot dogs. Right?
Oh, my
That
goodness.
is the worst. That is the worst.
I love the caption.
Harsh.
He knows.
He knows.
He knows.
Wow.
Yeah.
I love the moment of him just staring at the human, just the eyes lock, and
But
he just
that-
tears out.
I wonder if they've ever done that to him before.
Oh, you better believe
that's hilarious.
Bless his
Yeah.
heart.
That's so funny. Do you have any dogs?
Yes. Interesting enough, I have a three-legged beagle. And,
Okay.
when we got him, he didn't have three legs, an accident. But thank God he's still here. He's like this big. The fact that he
Matthew,
survived a car accident
the car
is,
accident.
is a blessing. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. I mowed the yard, forgot to shut the back gate. It was on me. But thank God.
Wait. Did you run over the dog?
No. Not me. Not me.
I would
but-
come up with a much better story of how he lost his leg. You got to
You
make him
see-
sound like a hero. This is a battle scar.
He was hanging out with Jack Sparrow. And if you're going to be a
man.
pirate, you got to look like a pirate.
There you go.
So,
Yeah.
how's that, Steven?
Get him a wooden prosthetic.
Right?
Kind of clacking around, yeah.
I have seen like doggy prosthetics where they have like wheels or something.
Yeah.
I've seen it. I had a three-legged dog,
Mm-hmm.
believe it or not,
Front leg or back leg?
back.
Back. Yeah.
So it got in a car accident also, and his life ended that way also. So, got run over by a pizza man named Wiki. True story. Twice. My mom was yelling at him.
Wow.
It was pretty emotional, Steven. That's the
Mm.
only time I've ever watched a pet die. It was rough.
Yeah. Could you tell it though? Because with our dog, you can't even tell that he's like God made dogs with three legs.
Oh, yeah,
and a
yeah.
bonus.
No,
like,
no.
you cannot tell it.
Her
at
name
all.
was Honey, and she pogoed around. Everywhere.
Uh.
So it was funny. Like, you think you learn your lesson after you lost one leg to chasing a car, but no.
Yeah.
I don't know what the, come on. I mean, you're one leg less because, and there you are again.
So how's the candy supply at y'all's house? All those fall festivals, trunk or treats.
Semi-decently high.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, still working some of that off then.
Yeah.
I got you. Well, I bumped into a little video from a friend of ours. I don't know if you saw it or not, but our good friend Ricky Phillips.
Oh, no.
He decided to try a little experiment.
All right, we need to talk. So, while you were at school today, Daddy got very hungry. While you were at school? And my tummy was really hungry, so I ate all your candy.
Eat all the candy?
All your Halloween candy.
Only Halloween candy?
Yeah, is that okay?
Mm-hmm.
It is?
Mm-hmm.
You're not upset?
No?
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
How understanding. Wow. That's crazy.
Ricky was the original co-host of the Varsity, and that's hilarious.
Yeah.
Steven, I'm glad you posted that. I saw another friend of ours. Their bring-in from that Halloween night, Steven.
Mm-hmm.
The Cameron and Holly.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
I didn't.
Oh my gosh, they looked like they robbed a store. I don't think I've ever seen a haul like that.
Yeah. Hey, tell you what, here in a minute, why don't we, before we bring the players in, because we still got some time, let's talk a little bit about that Bama game. I know it hurts. I know it stings, but let's do that coming up 55 seconds on the radio.
Okay.
I got some audio from Saban talking about the process, some questions he got asked, after a loss and stuff like that. It's pretty good.
Rough year.
Yeah. So there's still some people are still holding out hope that maybe somehow we're going to make it to the championship. So we'll see what happens with that. A lot of things have to fall right into place. So
a whole lot of things.
Yeah. So I've seen it happen before.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, 30 seconds till that.
A whole lot of things.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Very unlikely, but I mean, I've learned as an Auburn fan, watching and playing against them, no matter what.
I had nothing against you to this moment.
But what I'm about to say is good. You can't doubt them. They find a way somehow.
This is true.
Some way.
Especially if it's Bama at Auburn on any given year, no matter how
Here we go,
terrible
guys.
you are.
3 seconds.
Yeah, so we didn't really want to go here, but we're a sports show, and we need to. So Matthew is not a Bama fan, but me and Steven, we are.
Roll Tide.
And
I'm even wearing my shirt today.
And I would like to say to any haters out there, one, I was a Bama fan during Mike Shula, and that was torment and torture.
It was brutal.
Nick Saban losing 2, maybe even 3, I hope not, maybe even 3 games in a year is nothing compared to the torture I went through under Mike Shula. Right, Steven?
This is true, yeah.
I mean,
just hopeless years. It's like watching fail after fail after fail, not getting any better. I know.
Fire him, right?
That's the thing about us Alabama fans. If something's not working, fire them.
Oh, man.
Change them out.
I'm not saying fire Nick Saban.
No, but the coaches who work with, I don't know, the quarterback, the kicker, the receivers, the defense, all of them. Everybody except
the
Saban.
offensive and defensive coordinator
Right.
need to go. Okay, that's a whole nother story.
See, that's what we do.
But I've been saying that for 2 years.
Yeah.
Okay, and I heard the best case from somebody who named off 8 games because of those 2. Anyway,
Yeah.
they need to go. Okay.
Right.
And I believe they will go. I really do. Well, Bill O'Brien's going to get hired by somebody else. So, by the end of the season. But anyway. So, Steven says, so this week, as I was watching the Alabama LSU game.
Yeah.
They went into overtime.
Yeah.
And it was hard. It was not as hard as the first game, I'll be honest. Just because I really believe the refs were way more fair this time. I feel like they were decent. Okay.
Yeah.
Way more decent. The Tennessee game, I don't know what. I don't blame the refs. Because, I'm not blaming them for LSU. They did a really good job.
Yeah.
But Tennessee, what happened?
I actually have
Those
evidence.
guys need fired. Every one of them. They do need fired.
I have evidence that actually, I believe that Tennessee brings their own refs with them, and
Well,
I
that
have
must
video
have happened.
evidence of that we're going to share later on
Thank God.
on the video portion of this on Facebook and
you.
Instagram and YouTube and Twitter. So
that'll give me some closure. So,
but right now,
I would say this.
Yeah.
The LSU refs were not like that. They were fair. They were fair, and I felt good about the refs. It was on us. It was us. Tennessee, not so much. Go ahead, Steve.
Saban got asked a lot of questions because, you're in the hot seat when your team loses like that and you're responsible for it. So I thought it was pretty interesting what he came back with, and I think it's a lesson we can all learn from.
Yeah.
This guy is just spitting just gold all the time. I don't understand. He just has this way of thinking about life.
Yes.
And here, take a listen to this.
Always talk about playing to the Alabama standard. Is there maybe something you can pinpoint with this team that maybe they haven't lived up to that quite?
Well, first of all, I don't think it's really fair to the team to create the kind of expectations that get created, for the team before they ever have a body of work. But that's kind of the nature of the beast in this day and age. You put pressure on yourself, whatever it is, which means you're really focused on outcomes, not process. And I think that's the biggest thing that we got to get our players back to do. When I say you got to focus on what it takes to win and enjoy winning, that's what I'm talking about. I've done, I guess, a pretty average job of getting our players out of that mode. You know, the pyramid downstairs doesn't say win the SEC championship. It doesn't say win the national championship. It says be a champion. And these are the things that you have to do to be a champion. And if you can do those things, you have a chance to win a championship. All right. So if your focus is on the championship, then are you really focused on doing the things you need to do to get there?
Wow. What do you think?
That's so good.
Every time he I know you're an Auburn fan. Every time he opens his mouth, I could write a sermon on the things that come out of it. He is one of the greatest leaders. I know I'm a Bama fan, but really, like his leadership principles are phenomenal.
Yes.
I dare say there's few leaders as good as him. And aside from football, just his leaders, he can write a whole book.
Yeah.
On leadership principles that are just absolutely amazing.
Yeah, he could retire right now and do that.
Yeah.
Be fine.
Yeah, you would love that, wouldn't you, man?
Dude.
Yeah.
Dude, you know.
Yeah. It's not happening. Okay. Anyway, I hear you.
Just imagine, though, if he took the job at Auburn. Imagine.
Nick Saban?
If he actually did that, would that make you happy?
No.
Yeah, it would make you happy.
It would make me scared for him. Is what it would make me, because
that makes sense.
Oh man, yeah. Wow. He'd be on the top of the prayer list if that happened.
Yeah,
I love it. Cool.
Yeah.
Well, hey, we got some guests to get in here, so
yeah,
why don't we
do.
hit a song, and we'll bring in some Douglas High School athletes. What do you think?
I love it.
All right, here we go. It's Sunday Best by Surfaces.
I absolutely love. Seriously, I've used. Judge me, Nick Saban clips for sermons, because some of the things he says on failure is absolutely.
I mean,
godly. I'm not calling him godly. I'm just saying it's godly stuff.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Yeah.
His leadership stuff is just. There's not many people like him.
Right. I mean, you look at his stats, and then you hear him say something like that, and it just makes sense.
You understand.
Like,
he has changed their mentality.
100%. Like,
what's up? It's a good day. Have a seat. Put the headphones on. Have you been here before?
Well, I wasn't here. I had a phone call for COVID.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you put those on, get close to the microphone. It's going to be a good day. They said center. I thought he's got to be tall. Cooper, right?
Yeah.
Jonathan and Cooper.
Yes, sir.
Jonathan David. That's cool. He's like, how do you know my middle name? I was doing a devotion your mom told me. So ask Jonathan and Cooper about their sugar and ketchup packet football teams when they were little. They've been buddies for a long time. I'll ask you that on the air. So don't answer that yet.
Gotcha.
But, man, what a season.
It could have been a little better.
Yeah? Yeah? I'll just say your program has vastly improved.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
Vastly
It has.
improved. You are doing a phenomenal job. And I don't think you should be disappointed. I think you should be proud of what Douglas is doing now.
Oh, yeah.
Compared to, what, you went 3 years losing every...
We went, let's see. Starting my 7th grade year, we went through like 4 coaches from the time I got to my freshman year.
Wow. Coach Laws is amazing.
Then we had Coach Wadley there. And Coach Wadley wasn't really a bad coach. I mean, there were some things people didn't really agree with him. But he knew his stuff about more defensive side. And then we went, of course, 1-9 that year. We beat Brendan Mountain, which that's a Brendan Mountain win. Everybody can do that. No offense to them. They're a young program. They're still trying to build, too.
Yeah.
And then Coach Lyles gets there. We go 3-7. We kind of should have went 5-5 that year, I think. We had 2 games that we didn't really perform the best in. But I think since everybody's kind of built into it with Coach Lyles being here, knowing that he's going to stay with us and stay committed to us, I think it's helped a lot.
Wow. How you feel?
Great.
Great. Cooper.
Cooper's in Albertville.
Yeah.
Former Albertville?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I followed Coach Lyles at Douglas pretty much.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Wow.
Did he come from Albertville?
He coached there for a good long time. Defense coordinator.
Nice.
We got 15 seconds.
All right, here we go.
Put us on a brief hold. We'll be right back.
And Mercy Me. Tickets at TomlinMercyMe.com. Presented by Fill the Gap Concert, a non-profit organization.
The Varsity Athlete Interview.
All right, we have Jonathan here and Cooper from Douglas. Jonathan, he played football. He was the running back. That has to be a fun job. And then defensive end, is that correct? Cooper
Yes, sir.
played defensive end. He plays center. And if you saw him, you'd understand basketball.
Mm-hmm.
He's very tall. How tall are you?
I'm only like 6'1", 6'2". I'm more of a small for a center.
Okay. Small center, he says.
Yeah.
I know tall when I see it because I am it, you know. But anyway,
Can't relate.
guys. Sorry, Matt. That wasn't a dig at you. Matt is not big if you're listening on the radio. He's not a tall guy, so he's still cool. But anyway, well, tell me, guys. Jonathan, tell me about your football season. Y'all, both of you, Jonathan, Cooper, tell me about your football season. How long have y'all been playing football?
I've been playing since I was 5 years old. Me and Cooper together, we've been since 4th grade. We took middle school off pretty much from each other because Cooper was at Albertville, I stayed at Douglas. My 9th grade year and sophomore year, Cooper wasn't here, but then he moved back last year, and me and him, got to connect again and finish out. I got to finish out high school because I'm my best friend, Cooper. So.
Nice. Cooper, how long you been playing football?
Since around the same time, about 5. I played for Douglas all the way up until, I think, 7th grade. Then I moved to Albertville. Then I ended up coming back last year.
Wow. Are you glad you came back?
100%.
Okay, so you were talking, Jonathan, about Coach Lyles. Tell me about Coach Lyles. When I say his name, tell me something you'll never forget because you're a senior, right?
Yes, sir.
Is this your senior year?
Junior.
So tell me something you're never going to forget about him. Maybe a statement, maybe something you heard all the time, or a characteristic about him that you would say.
Well, since I've been at Douglas, everybody's known that Douglas has coaching change after coaching change after coaching change. Year in, year out, we have a different coach.
Yeah.
My sophomore year, Coach Lyles, he finally took the job that nobody wanted. Douglas was 1-9, 0-10, 1-9, back-in-back years, barely winning a game or winning no games, and nobody wanted that job. Coach Lyles, being from Douglas, he took it. He said, I'm going to be here unless they just force me out and make me leave. He said, I'm going to commit to y'all. He said, I need y'all to be right behind me, and that's something that's going to stick with me. Is Coach Lyles made us a promise my sophomore year, and he kept that promise.
Man. And it's translating.
Mm-hmm.
So tell me, statement.
Or
characteristic or something.
I got a characteristic. I think he coaches with such tenacity and passion. It's like crazy. It makes sure that everybody wants to follow him. Like even at Albertville, he had that on his defense. Defense was so good when he coached there, and now he's here at Douglas, and we got a really good defense. I mean, that's what he focuses on, but I mean, the whole team wants to follow him.
Yeah. Okay, basketball for you.
All right.
Here, let's make the switch. Is it Coach Ball?
Yes, sir.
Tell me about Coach Ball. Tell me what stands out about him and a statement that he makes that you'll never forget.
He's a very free-minded, he lets you have freedom to play basketball, actually. Most coaches, they want you to be like a robot, follow the play. He coaches with a style that lets you be you, and our team, you can do that because we have a bunch of athletes that has the ability to make plays, and he allows us to do that.
It's awesome.
It is.
Matthew?
Yeah, okay, so back to you, because you're playing basketball and football. Between the two coaches and the comparison of them two, what is the strength of your basketball and the strength of your coaches, and how do you see them relate together?
I think it goes back to like the community. It's more small community, so everybody's just friendly and ongoing. So it's like you see them, they're constantly hanging out, talking. So it's like a big friendship amongst everybody. But of course, way I think of it, football, you got Coach Lyles. He is more like stern, but he still loves to play around you. Coach Ball, you can crack a joke with him all day. It's hilarious.
Yeah, that's awesome.
What are you gonna miss most about those coaches?
I don't think I'll ever be, as comfortable with another coach as Coach Ball, like joking wise. I mean, he's fun to be around. Then Coach Lyles, I mean, I love Coach Lyles. I'll follow him anywhere. It's just, he is a great coach. That's all I can say.
Jonathan, what are you gonna miss most?
I don't know. Football, I really kind of like all of our coaches, head coach and assistant. Like Coach Lyles, is his intensity that he brings, before the game, in the locker room, talking, motivating us to go out here and perform the best of our ability. In practice, he'll joke around a little bit here and there, but at the end of the day, it's about getting done what we need to get done and focusing on what we need to focus on throughout that week. All the assistants, you got Coach Mitchell. Coach Mitchell brings energy that's unmatched by anybody I've ever met. I mean, the dude he's wired up all the time, and I like it. I like that type of coaching because it shows you that he's involved, he's excited. Hey, you need to get hyped up too. You need to get excited. Just really all of our coaches, they motivate you in a different way that I don't think a coach I will ever meet throughout college or anything will match.
Wow,
they all have dedication to them.
That's awesome. So good. Okay, how do you mindset? Let's talk about mind games. How do you deal with the nerves? I think football, it's a little more brutal just because you're going to get hit. It's coming. Not that you're afraid. You just, I played on the football team. How do you deal with those mind games? How do you prepare for a football game to get your mind in the game?
Honestly, for me, it's just simple. I just want to go out there and hit as hard as I can, and maybe that can end up helping our team in a good way. I was going to say, I really don't have a mindset for football. I just like to go out there and just hit.
Jonathan?
I don't know. Like, football, there's always the nerves and stuff of like, okay, am I going to perform? What's going to happen this game? How's this game going to go? But, like, at the same time, it's more of a thing that I look at as before the game starts, when we're sitting in the locker room, we're getting our shoulder pads on, cleats strapped, everything fixed and ready to go. When the coach starts talking, everything starts clicking. Like, okay, I got to do this. We got to do this as a team. We got to do this together. We can't just go out here by ourselves and perform as one. So then it comes to the kickoff. Opening kickoff, no matter if I'm receiving it or I'm on the kickoff team, it's just that first whistle blow kind of sets off a switch in my head. And I'm like, all right, it's go time. Let's go.
Yeah. The adrenaline kicks in.
Yeah.
Matthew?
I love that. I want to get this one for both of you. There's a saying out there that goes, practice makes perfect. Okay. False. Spoiler alert, that is not true. Okay. Practice does not make perfect, but practice does make progression. My question to both of you is, what is your practice? What is your actions that you're putting in outside of the scheduled practice itself? Is there anything that you do outside of what the coaches make you do whenever you're going to school and you have to practice?
I'll go first. Well, me throughout the season, I have a trainer up in Birmingham. His name's Coach L at Step by Step Sports Training. Okay. He trains several teams of that Birmingham area. He trains well-known teams like Ramsey, Pleasant Grove, Huffman, Clay Chalkville, defending 6A state champs, Parker, all those big schools. He even trains Kool-Aid from Alabama.
Wow.
And I went up there to start working on my footwork and stuff and getting myself faster, stronger, and more prepared for college, because there's some colleges that are interested in me and I feel like I have that chance to go perform at college. I did that to help myself there. I work out at Wilmore's in Gunnersville. I had a trainer, Nick McIntyre, up there to help me get more strength and stuff like that, work on my technique with lifting. And then even after workouts and stuff like that at school, I'll go and I'll take and work out more in the field house or go home and watch film, stuff to help me prepare throughout that week for what I have to play against Friday.
That's awesome, man.
For me, I've had a trainer for the past 3 years. His name's Blake Lancaster. He has a Make a Play training. It's up in Huntsville area. Well, more like I can't remember. He trains out of tennis complex up in Huntsville. It's like in Cove. I can't remember what area it's in, but then I also hit throughout the season. I done Brian Creel's Athlete Nation training out of Boaz.
Okay. Awesome, man.
It's incredible.
Yes.
So you were talking about the college route right there. Because your mom just told me you've got an offer already. Faulkner, is that correct?
Yes,
so
sir.
tell us about that process. What's it like to be recruited? And how's it going right now? How are things?
Currently right now I have the Faulkner offer like my mom mentioned, and I love everything about that program. Because the coaches kind of remind me of the ones at Douglas a little bit. Of course not the same, because you're not going to match Coach Lyles' energy. I don't care who you are or who you try to be. Coach Lyles' energy is unmatched. But I do like that program a lot because the coaches and all are really connected and really they buy into you. They don't buy into, okay, this is a guy that can help the team. They don't say, okay, this is just an athlete. They care about your grades, your life out of football, what you're doing on the field, what you're doing off the field, how are you doing in the classroom, how's everything at home, stuff like that. So I do like that about the program. I also have a school out of Rome, Georgia that's interested in me, Shorter University. That's another thing. Their coaches, they remind me of coaches at Douglas and back home. The way they're connected to players and they care how you're doing on and off the field. I really do like that. The recruiting process for me it's kind of been like a dream come true because since I've been little, I was told, you're too small, you're not going to make it in football, go ahead and give up on it. You're never going to be this, you're never going to be that. I actually had a coach tell me one year that I was too small and to quit asking to play because I wasn't going to play for him. Well, that kind of set off a switch, and I was like, all right, they don't believe in me, so I'm going to believe in myself, and I'm going to believe what the good Lord has planned for me.
Mm-hmm.
And I've kind of went from there, and my dream's coming true thanks to the man upstairs.
So good.
It's amazing.
So good. Talk to me. Talk to me over here. Do you have any aspirations to do college ball, basketball, or football?
I do for football. That's always been a dream of mine. I'm still trying to, I guess, get my feet wet in the recruiting part of it. Like I'm going to college camps and stuff, just trying to do my best to try to get an offer.
Awesome. Where would you like to go?
Honestly, the schools I would love to go to is like UAB and Troy. I always love those two schools. Maybe like South Alabama too.
All of those are great schools.
Yeah.
Jonathan, I love your acknowledgement of the Lord in that. And so I want to ask you, how does your faith impact you in your mindset, your actions, every single time you step on the field? How is that impacting you and influence?
Well, being a believer, it's not easy. It's not what people think. Like, okay, I believe in God, everything's going to be okay, because there's still going to be things go wrong.
Yes.
But I do believe that's all in His. He has a destiny for everybody. Since you was thought of, since you was created by Him, He's had a destiny for you. And I feel like every time I step on that field, I believe in God. It might not be the best game. It might not be a game that just everybody remembers, but I'm still doing it in His name. I'm doing it for Him. I'm performing for Him because of what He's done for me. So that helps a lot, and that helps me believe no matter where things go, how things end up, if I go to college, if I don't, if I become a coach, if I don't become a coach, whatever I end up doing, it's because He had that plan for me, and it's all in His destiny for me.
Wow.
So good.
So good, man.
Enjoyed that. That's a good answer. So, guys, tell me this, and then we're going to go to a quick commercial break. But tell me, you've been in football for 4 years now. Tell me about the biggest win for you. I'm talking about in high school. Biggest win you've had, where it just felt good. It just felt right. You'll never forget that night.
Let's see. Now, sophomore year, I'll go through some wins throughout the years. So,
yeah, do that.
Sophomore year was 110% Sardis. That was a game that Sardis, my freshman year, the year before that, beat us 67-0 on our home field. Woo. We was not supposed to win that game. We was not supposed to be in that game. We started off, I got the very first touchdown of the game, and then with 5 seconds left, I intercepted the ball to close the game out on the 3-yard line. That was probably my favorite win of that entire season.
Wow.
Junior year had to be West Point. West Point kind of sealed the deal for us to get into the playoffs for the first time in 27 years. Also, it kind of gave us the hope, like, okay, we'll have a winning season for the first time in 27 years. Because another thing, it's nothing disrespectful to Crossville, but Crossville's a young program that's building, and I felt like we was very confident and good going into the week after the West Point game against Crossville. So
yeah,
that was the win that I kind of felt we had secured for a winning season. This year, I'm going to say West Point was another big one this year because before the season started, when Coach Laws was trying to schedule those non-region games, when he received a phone call from a person up in that area asking if we had number 6, who was our playmaker last year. Everybody knows him, Reagan Edmondson. He asked if we had him back, and Coach Laws said no. He was a senior. He graduated. He said, okay, we'll play y'all. That's the only person we're worried about. So when we went up there and beat them 49-21 on their homecoming, that was kind of like a big, okay, we got more than one dude.
I like that.
On their homecoming.
Favorite game?
I'd say freshman year when I was back at Abbeville is when we beat Boaz under Coach Mitchell.
Yeah.
That was a big one. It was
it's a big deal.
It was, I want to say 34-33 or something. I don't really remember. I just remember it was really close, and I was able to get a little bit in that game as a freshman, which was just good for me. Then sophomore year, I didn't really play because I moved during the season, and so I was ineligible.
Yeah.
But this past year is definitely the West Point game. I mean, that's probably going to be our favorite out of, if you ask any of us. That was a crazy game to win. It was really good.
So good. I like that story. Hey, we're going to take a quick music break. Not you two. But we are on the radio. Hey, stay with us. Come on over to Facebook Live. Where all are we, Steven? How many live?
We're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, we're on YouTube, we're on Twitter, and you definitely want to come over there because you're about to see some pictures of these two through the years.
Come on.
That one of them's mom sent to us, so they have no idea that's going on. Yeah, I can see that reaction.
There it is, Jonathan.
Stick around for that. We'll get into it. Coming up, as I start this song, we're going to be over there, so come on over and join us.
I'm looking forward to this.
Yeah.
Take us through memory lane, Steven.
You ready for this?
Man. Yeah.
Are you ready?
I know
for
exactly
this?
what picture that is already. Yep.
Hey!
Oh, wow.
Man, that was old school right there.
It was like 6th and 5th grade.
Yeah.
That was when we was playing with the packets and stuff at Jack's.
Is that the story she was talking about?
Yes.
How about this one?
I think that was the Jake Coker camp.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that was a long time ago.
And tell me, who's this guy standing between you?
Oh,
two?
that's Blake Sims.
Very
Hey, big deal. When did you meet Blake?
Cooper, what was we? 5th, 4th grade?
I want to say it was your 5th grade year. It's my 4th grade
Yeah,
year.
it was my 5th
We
grade
went to
year.
one of his camps.
Cooper's 4th grade year. We went to one of his camps, and his younger brother was looking for a drink or something because it was hot that day. It was miserable, and he was looking for something to drink, and there wasn't nothing, so he was about to run to the store. And Mom was like, "Well, we got a cooler over here with some Gatorades." And she gave him one. Well, after that, he was like, "Do y'all want to go eat?" And Mom was like, "Yeah." He said, "What do y'all? Is it okay if my brother and his friend come?" My mom was like, "Who's your brother?" And I just immediately looked at her. Me and Cooper did and said, "Yes, it's okay that they come." It was. It ended up being Blake Sims. It was his brother and Christian Jones that also played at Alabama coming to eat with us.
Yeah. Wow. How was that? Talk about that meal.
It was definitely an experience. It was something different.
It was cool to be so young to see big time college athletes just be able to like talk to you, be friendly with you. It was really cool.
Wow.
Speaking of college, I hear, Jonathan, you got some crazy stories about Nick Saban. What's this? Somebody's telling us you could share some crazy stories about Coach.
It was sophomore year going into my junior year. I went to Nick Saban's big camp that he puts on every year.
Yeah.
Well, it was when COVID was an issue, still kind of like, it wasn't huge like it was, but it was still kind of, around. Everybody was worried about it.
Yeah.
I was at his camp, and the camp had just ended. We was all huddled up. Well, he takes his famous little straw hat, and he sits it on my head while he's talking. He walks off without it. So I'm thinking, okay, I got to keep this thing. Like, I'm about to go home with this, put it in a frame and all that, keep it. Well, here comes the little manager behind. You got to give it back. I was like, why? He gave it to me. I didn't take it.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's cool.
His manager did that?
Mm-hmm.
That's
I was
funny.
not happy.
That is memorabilia. That's funny.
Yeah, I wasn't too happy with his manager after that.
Yeah.
I almost told him he should have gave me a free offer, full ride.
All right, Jonathan, me and you, we got to talk, bud, because I don't know if you know this or not, but I actually went to West Point, and I hear that you broke our fence. Tell me about breaking the fence,
I
West
didn't break the fence. I have a video
It's not what your mom said.
I have video proof and evidence that I can pull up. I get like a 15-yard run. I go out of bounds. I'm standing up. I'm not doing nothing wrong. 3 of their players throw me through the fence. I did nothing wrong. I can pull that video up.
Yeah, do that for us. There we go. Video evidence
right?
that he is not guilty.
He already ran out of bounds and everything. It was a late hit.
But I mean, since you went to our field, what do you think about the field? Was it nice? Did they keep it up? Was it okay field?
It was a good field. The grass was a little bit high though.
Really? Did
I'm
you see
fine
the
with
shrubs in the right past the end zone? They had it like in a WPS West Point or West WPHS.
Wow.
They have it all carved out. Did you see that?
Yeah, they did.
Yes,
I noticed that.
Cool. Yeah.
So I would like to say that he was not at blame for the fence being broken. It was the 3 thugs from your school, Steven, that threw him into the fence.
Gotcha.
Violently.
Gotcha. I'll have to inquire as to who
Violently.
that was. Give them a stern talking to.
I would also like to say that that's a penalty. That's a hit after the play.
They ended up. I think all 3 of them got a personal foul, and then one of
They
them
needed it.
One of them later on in the quarter got ejected because he hits a dude like 30 yards behind the play.
I had a bunch of personal
It
penalties that game.
the first half was actually really clean in that game. It was pretty solid, fair fought game.
Technically,
they hit us with some trick plays and stuff to score on, so it was a tight game. And then we come out in the second half. We received the opening kickoff. We get flagged for a block in the back, which it was one of those iffy calls.
Yeah.
And then like 3 plays in a row, we only got like 3 or 4 yards on a play, but ended up getting an 18-yard game because they'd have something stupid happen where they get a personal foul. We ended up getting all the way down to like our own 12-yard line off of their personal fouls.
Wow.
It was on their home field, but they got a lot of flags that night. They had, I want to say, they had one player get kicked out, and they had one player almost get kicked out. I know the ref was talking to him about it, saying if you do one more thing.
Wow.
You got to understand, there's not much for people to do around West Point. So, I mean, it was just
Steven just straight up defended him.
We beat up on each other.
Steven's like, it's okay because they don't have anything else to do.
That was part of the fun of even going to the football games. You're playing your own football game while the game's going on the field. It's great. You just smearing each other.
I will say, playing at West Point was like it was a pretty cool atmosphere because like when they scored on their first touchdown of the game, they have this big hill that's like down where the scoreboard is, and up on top of it they had those god awful trucks with that loud exhaust pipe. They scored, and goodness gracious, that place erupted with them revving up. Yeah. It was pretty.
Steven,
pretty crazy.
Steven, we need you to account for your people.
You have heard my truck, haven't you? I have one that sounds just like that.
That explains so much. I just have one of those aha moments. So much. Wow.
15 seconds. You guys want to come back?
Yes.
All right, cool. Put us on a brief hold.
So much.
Help is on the way. Help is on the way. Round in the corner. Help is on the way.
All right, we are back with Jonathan and Cooper, and they are more than amazing. And so we're so excited to have you. So let me ask you the funny stuff. So first, your mother posted, thank God for moms, asked Jonathan and Cooper about their sugar and ketchup packet football teams when they were little. They have been buddies for a long time. What's that all about? Yeah, there's a picture.
Right, so
Cooper's on the left, I'm guessing.
I moved to Douglas my 4th grade year, so that would put Cooper in 3rd grade.
Yeah.
Our dads actually went to high school together, so they knew each other.
Nice.
Well, one day, I go to practice. Me and Cooper kind of meet. We hang out. Well, that weekend, I stayed the night with him. We both enjoyed football and loved it. So anytime we'd go out to eat, we'd normally bring football cards. Like, we'd bring 11 for offense, 11 defensive players, and we'd have, like, scrimmages. Like, play each other with them. So, like, say our quarterback threw a pass in our mind. We'd paper, rock, scissors. Whoever won paper, rock, scissors got to play. Wow. Well, there'd be times we'd forget cards. So we'd have 11 sugar packs for offense, 11 sugar packets for defense, and we'd draft like all-time players like Deion Sanders, Michael Smith, or Michael Irvin, all them. And we'd play. Same thing, paper, rock, scissors, whoever won got to play. So it was kind of like a thing we didn't have phones then, so we did that to pass the boredom.
I think we should turn that into a game and sell it.
We could possibly do that.
Gosh, all we done was, it's 2 little kids throwing around ketchup packets and sugar packets, and we had the salt and pepper shakers using them as QBs.
Nice.
I still remember that.
Wow. Genius. I thought that was going to be a funny story, and that turned out very much entrepreneurial.
Very creative, yes.
Steven, write that down in my file of things we need to do to make money.
Man. I'll add it to the list.
I think my last one would have really made us a lot. But anyway. So
TGIF?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So we have finally gotten past the whole food truck
Yes.
and doing weddings out of food truck thing?
Yes. Because
Okay, good.
I feel like the TGIF's a legit deal.
And as long as we've forgotten about the Wienermobile.
No, that's never forgotten.
Okay.
It's never forgotten.
Gosh.
Go. I want to do the varsity radio show in the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile. And Steven says no. He says no.
No.
Because he's a dream killer. I'm joking. So anyway, y'all tell me guys about an embarrassing moment that happened to you. It could have been during practice, on the bus, in the locker room, during a football game. I don't care, but tell me about a moment that you will never forget because it was quite embarrassing. So,
I'll start out.
Yeah, come on, John.
It was last year. We was playing Pleasant Grove, big 5A known team out of Birmingham. It is third quarter at this point. We are down like 49-0. It wasn't so much that we was playing horrible. It was just they're full of Division I athletes, and we was still a younger team then. Well, I take and I blitz through the B gap. I'm about to hit their Tennessee commit running back in the backfield for a loss. I'm hyped up in my head. I'm like, all right, I'm about to get a kill shot. This is going to go in my huddle. I'm posting it all over Twitter. Out of the peripheral vision of my left eye, I see a tall 6'6", 360-pound figure running at me.
Yes, it is.
That was Miami commit left or right tackle Inez Cooper pulling. He picked me up, and I kid you not, threw me from this side of the room all the way over there midair.
Wow.
Horrible experience. I thought I died.
What team is this?
Pleasant Grove. He's committed to Miami now.
He's
Or
playing
plays
for Miami
now.
He's playing like actual minutes.
Wow.
6'6", 3. Wow. You two had a bonding. Well, it wasn't bonding. It's like magnetic rejection.
Well, my biggest fear was that he was going to lay on top of me after this play.
And thank God he didn't.
Yeah.
He just, oh Lord, we got to play. He's a small dude.
Yeah, 6'6".
He needs to eat.
He's tiny. No.
So he pulled and walked you out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He annihilated me, murdered me.
Yeah.
It was
Okay.
it wasn't pretty.
To be fair, he's like 3 feet taller than you.
Oh yeah.
And
I was at his belly.
weighs
button.
about 200 pounds more than you. So
yeah.
yes, thank God he didn't lay on you. You would
Like,
have been crippled.
I was looking at his belly button.
You would have
thought I
been
was-
crippled.
I thought I was talking to him,
Right?
And then I look up and I see another human up there, and I'm whoa, wait, who was I talking to?
All right, Cooper, we're gonna end this segment. Tell us you're funny.
Honestly, since I moved back to Douglas, I don't really get embarrassed that much. And honestly, what happens in the locker room stays in the locker room. I ain't gonna say much.
Okay.
But I will say, back in my freshman year at Albertville, we played Florence. We got blown out, but Florence, I still remember their left tackle. I can't remember names, but I just remember measurables because they talked about it all week. Left tackle 6'6", 320. Left guard, he's only 6'2", but he's 4'15". And I remember his
That's
first,
a whole lot of man right there.
And the fun thing is, he was a pulling guard. He could move. Well, I mean, he could kind of move, but when he did get moving, he was
Not
moving.
like that guy could.
No. But first play, I mean, this is my freshman year. I didn't know what to do. So I think it was first drive, maybe fourth or fifth play. I tried fitting up the tackle, and he just full on karate chops my head down. So I ended up crawling between his legs. And I want to say I got my hand on the running back's leg and tackled him. But besides that, I was killed that whole game.
What about the Sparkman O-line that didn't speak words? They just barked.
Oh. That was a weird experience. It was also my freshman year. I was playing on Albertville's defensive line, and I mean, I was smaller. I was real skinny framed, and you had Sparkman, who their average weight and height was like probably a good 6'2" and 3 something. I mean, they were huge. They're still huge now. I mean, this Spartan's a good football team constantly, but they had a good O-line that year. And I mean, they'd make, you know how usually your centers and your guards will make like blitzing calls? They wouldn't talk words. They would just like look at each other and just growl. It was the weirdest experience of my life. It was like playing against a bunch of barbarians.
Did you feel like you were gonna die that night?
No, it's just, I was like, I call edge. I want to run around them, not through them. Mm-hmm. That was weird.
Wow. That's terrifying. Well, guys, that was quite the interview. I enjoyed that. You guys are fantastic.
Awesome.
Thank you.
I want you to stay here. We're about to give away a 5-person all-day pass to B&B Video Games, which is on the way home. And I want y'all to help me do that. So, hey, we're going to take a quick music break, and we'll be back in a minute.
88.5 JFN is WJIA Guntersville.
So I'm about to ask a super easy question. If you want to get one of your friends on here, this can be an experience for you and your friends. It's 5-person all-day pass B&B Video Games. They got an 80s-style arcade in the back, and you get to play as long as you want. And they've got all kinds of games. It's a lot of fun. So I don't know if y'all would want to do that or y'all have friends that would, but I'm about to ask a question. Your mom can call in also, talking to Sherry. So got to wait till I ask the question, but then it's a fun prize though, seriously.
Yeah.
So
I've been there before with my friends Michael for his birthday party. We rented that thing out. It's pretty
Did
fun.
you like it?
Yeah, I did.
I take my
Gives you a throwback. I mean, it's
It
like
does.
all the old games. It even has the original
Pac-Man.
Yeah,
They got more
Mortal
than that.
Kombat.
Yeah, they got Mortal Kombat.
I played that
Street
so long.
Fighter.
Yep.
Tekken.
They had old RoboCop, like the old RP fight.
It's a lot of fun. They've got 5 games in there from the actual filming of Stranger Things season 2. They actually used them in Stranger Things season 2.
Oh, that's cool.
5 of the games on the back, and he tells the story. I don't know if he has any more, but he tells the story of Donkey Kong. He rented out Donkey Kong to Pixels, the movie with Adam Sandler and Kevin James.
Yeah.
And, anyway, he rents it out. Adam Sandler walks over and tells him, "Thank you so much," because he traveled with the game system. He says, "Is there anything I can do for you?" He's like, "No, I'm just glad I get to be here on the set." He said, "Well, let me sign your game system." So he signed it. And then a guy walked up and said, "I'll give you $10,000 for this right now."
Wow.
And he said he sold it. So, yeah, that movie right there.
Oh,
So,
yeah?
Yeah. So, off of his autograph, he made $10,000.
That's awesome.
Is that the play?
Yes.
Oh, gosh.
Oh!
Threw me. Absolutely tossed me.
Wow.
He was not playing.
Oh, no. Was that on his highlight film?
No, that was on their YouTube video that has over like 2,000 views.
Great.
Of me getting through. Yeah, no, he was
Cue
definitely
that
big.
back up and turn it around and point it towards your camera, if you would.
Show him which camera
share that.
is.
So, I think yours is the silverback over there.
That one right there. That one. So
Yeah.
that's your camera.
Look, to make this sound better, I watched his highlights for that game. He was throwing kids constantly, so this is one of another for him.
He is a massive human being.
He is.
So
All right.
you see this, Steven?
Move it to your right just a little bit. Yep, come down. Down, 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 right there.
Hold up. Now I got to rewind it.
All right, rewind it. But that's the perfect spot.
You ready?
Yep, here we go.
You're going to enjoy this. Wow. Did you see it? He got leveled.
Yeah, he did. Man.
To make matters better, though, I wasn't so much embarrassed after I watched this film, and then I see 4-star linemen from Leeds, Alabama, getting through by him as well. So I was like, okay. It's not just It's not just me.
If it makes you feel better, he plays for Miami now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, he
20 seconds, guys.
Yeah.
School. Yeah.
All right. Put us on a brief hold to bring us up with freestyle.
The Varsity Freestyle.
This is the time of the day where you get a chance to win a 5-person all-day pass to B&B Video Games. All you got to do is answer the question. It's that easy. And you know what? If you don't know the answer, we got the answer. And we're like phone a friend, but we have the answer. So all you need to do is call in as soon as I ask this question. Where, and I'm going to give you a hint, where is the Golden Gate Bridge? Where's the Golden Gate Bridge? Also the home of the Golden State Warriors. The
Want
Golden
to
State
win?
Warriors.
Call us now at 256-505-0885.
Yeah. Also, where they filmed Full House.
Mm-hmm.
Full House. There's trolleys that go up and down hills in this city. Mm-hmm. There we go.
Hey, are you calling in to answer a question?
Yes, sir.
Awesome. All right, stay on the phone line with me real quick, okay? We'll bring you right up. What's your name?
Jacob Fontaine. I'm Jonathan's brother.
Cool.
Jonathan's brother.
All right, we're going to bring you in. Give me just a second.
I can't live without
All right, Jacob, how you doing, man? Hello?
Say it one more time, bud. I'm sorry.
Pretty good.
Pretty good, man. We're so glad that you called in. So we have 3 questions. I believe you have the answer to the first one. If you don't, I'm gonna guide you through this. It's gonna be great. So, question number 1: where's the Golden Gate Bridge located?
San Francisco.
San Francisco, California. Very good. Where is the Leaning Tower of Pisa located? It's the origination of pizza. Pizza comes from this country. It's also a type of food that pizza's in. It's called, starts with an I. Huh?
Italy.
Yes!
Italy?
Look at you, man. You're a genius. You're so smart, Jacob. I love your brains. You're so smart. Last but not least, what is the capital of the United States of America? What is the capital city? The president lives there.
Washington, D.C.
Come on, man. Jacob, you are a winner. You have won a 5-person all-day pass to B&B Video Games. I would tell you to stay on the line, but I think it's coming home with your brother. So, all right. Hey, we're going to go to some music. Is Jacob still there?
Let's see. You still there?
Jacob.
Hello? Greetings, Earthling.
No.
Everybody hung up.
He got mad. He got big mad.
I figured he would know the Golden Gate Bridge, considering he went there like last year.
Oh, what did he go there for?
Him and my mom flew out to San Francisco. They had to sell a puppy
In San Francisco.
Mm-hmm. And the
What
lady
kind of puppy?
English bulldog.
Oh.
The lady didn't want to drive down here, and mom was like, "Well, I'm not going to drive to San Francisco." The lady was like, "Well, if I buy your plane ticket, will you discount something?" Mom was like, "Yeah." So
Wow.
they flew out there.
How about that?
And sold it off.
Also, can I stay in your house for a night? So that's not weird. Yeah, that place, B&B, is really fun. It really is. My son, he loves it. And so I take him. A lot. Have you ever been there?
I have not.
Man, you could walk to it from your church.
I probably could. Yeah.
Not
I think I know
but
about where it is, though.
by the Pizza Hut.
Mm-hmm.
You can build an 80s style arcade. You can't do better than the Pizza Hut, right by the Pizza Hut. I just think it's a great place. So, you're off of football right now. What are you doing in this off season before you graduate?
I'm starting back 3 days a week instead of just going on the weekends to training at Coach L's and working out at Wilmore's. Also, I have baseball season coming up. I haven't played since freshman year, but I tried out again this year, made the team with our new coach, Coach Redmond. That's another guy I really like. Coach Redmond he's a younger guy. He played at Alabama A&M. I think he just got out of college like a couple years ago.
Nice.
But he's a really good coach and a really good guy. I truthfully do like him and think he's going to be a good benefit for the baseball program at Douglas too.
Cooper, how good is your team going to be this year?
In basketball?
Yeah.
Really good. I'm honestly super excited. I think we have a chance to make a run and win everything, honestly. I mean, I don't think there's a game on our schedule we can't win. As long as we just keep to our game and just play as best we could.
I like it. So last year they redid your locker room?
For football?
Basketball.
Oh, basketball.
Is that true?
Yeah. Yeah, we got a nice locker room now. Put in a TV and everything.
Wow. You feel special, or is that,
I do.
Yeah.
They even got us a little glow strips, lights you put under the locker and on top of them, so we can turn off the lights. So it's like red and blue and stuff. It's pretty nice.
That's super cool.
It is.
So who did that?
I want to say, of course, Coach Ball helped with that, but I want to say, of course, I know parents came in and helped, certain players, and I want to say, I don't know, some program for Douglas. You know what I'm talking about?
I think it was.
You know, out football, they have the QB club that does the money stuff.
Yeah, I forget who it was. I think it might have been Coach Lyle's dad, because I know he helped a lot with our football locker room.
Yeah,
that he did, and they're pretty much they got the same wooden lockers and stuff like that.
Yeah, they do,
and the LED strips.
Your mom is being savage here. I wanted Jonathan.
Is that West Point? That's why he did it.
No. I like it. Okay. Jonathan, he said, I wanted Jonathan to make a TikTok with the music. I believe I can fly. I said your mom's being savage. That's hilarious. It's so funny. I don't even know what to say after that. I took your side, though, on the fence, just for the record.
Oh, yeah. The fence, I couldn't stop there.
They were being brutal.
Oh, yeah, it was.
Say it took 3 guys to take you down.
There you go. After the play, too.
After the play.
You wasn't even noticing it.
Sitting there, standing up, and all of a sudden I feel a fence. And see, the part that made it bad is, the fence, it didn't hurt or anything. It's a chain link fence, and it bends and flexes, so it didn't really hurt.
Yeah.
But what scared me about it is, as, I feel them starting to push me towards it, and I'm getting closer, I look over, and our yearbook lady, Miss Beth Chaffin, was standing right on where I was going to hit. So at the last second when they finally shoved me, I dodged her and missed her by that much, or it could have been bad.
So you were scared you were going to hurt her.
That's what the biggest thing was. I wasn't worried about the fence hurting me.
Man. Selfless.
Minute 25 to Greg. Minute 25.
Yeah. You just missed the selfless story, Steven.
Yeah, I was seeing a little bit over there.
When your school...
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of how to frame the football, the trucks at the top of the hill.
You can't frame it. You just gotta. You would have to be there and hear it. It is crazy.
Yeah, they're all lined up, tailpipes facing the field. As soon as they score, all of them just going,
just popping.
Is it motivational or?
I don't know. For the opposing team, it's annoying because there was a couple times they messed up and they would have done something wrong, or we would have did something good, but you would hear the celebration. So I guess they thought, okay, we did something good, and you just hear them revving up, and we're like, I guess cheer us. I don't know.
They're just doing every chance to show off their trucks, pretty much.
Yep. Did they do it when you scored?
I think that they did it one time, and it was when West Point. So that night, to start the game off, we block a punt and we scored.
Mm-hmm.
And then later on in the third quarter, they had a high snap over the punter's head, and instead of him letting it go out of bounds, us getting a safety and them getting a kick to us, he throws it back in bounds, and Cooper ends up recovering it for a touchdown. And they did their exhaust pipes, and I was like, they definitely do not know what's going on right now. They do not understand.
It's like, this is our moment. We've been waiting all week for this.
Yeah, that was funny.
Like Steven said, we got one traffic light, right?
Now I do like the way that their field is kind of designed, because you go down and you're going down this road. I don't like where they put the away locker room, because to get back to them, you have to go up a hill that's angled like this.
They did that on purpose.
Yeah, 100%. But I do like how their field is you're going down the road and you look to your left, and just down in this hole you got a football field, and you got the stadium running up the hills, and you got the back hills set up, front hills set up.
Like Gunnersville?
It's a little different.
It's a little different than Gunnersville's. It's kind of like, it looks like it's a college stadium because of the way the hills set up and all.
Yeah,
and
it makes it just look bigger, like the atmosphere of it.
All right, guys.
It's really cool.
We got 5 seconds. Hidden Greg, okay? Here we go.
Me.com, presented by Fill the Gap Concerts, a non-profit organization.
Now, sports analyst Greg Glasscock.
We're so excited to have Greg with us. How you doing, Greg?
Great. How are you guys doing today?
Man, we are good. We even queued up your music. We're hitting on all cylinders. Got some Douglas football players in here with us. So Anyway, it's a good day.
Eagles in the house.
Eagles in the house. Out of the nest, in the house, okay? Anyway, so Greg, what went down last week? Tell us about that.
Well, first round just ended, getting ready for the second round, and of course I was out at Fairview, and Gunnersville played a great game offensively and defensively all the way around, and defeating a very good Fairview team. Fairview actually has the second leading rusher in the state, averaging almost 300 a game.
Wow.
And I don't know how many he got, but we held him in check about as good as you can, I guess. We won that game 24-13. And then, of course, Boaz went on the road and took it on the chin out at Russellville. So Boaz is done, and the other county team still remaining is Arab, as they won easily over East Limestone. So got a couple big games this week with Arab and Gunnersville in the second round, both being at home. Arab will play Friday night against Moody, which will be a very interesting game because Moody's quarterback is a transfer from Gunnersville from the last 2 years that was there, Cole McCarty. So that'll be interesting to see there. And then I don't really know why, but Gunnersville's playing Ramsey on Thursday night. So tough for those of us that got to get up early on Friday. But anyway, I'll be at Thorpe and Ramsey's kind of our old nemesis. That's who knocked us out last year in the first round. And I'm sure if there were betting odds on the game, I would think Ramsey would be a fairly heavy favorite to beat Gunnersville. But you never know. You know, a lot of folks didn't think Gunnersville would get by Fairview. So second season, that's why you play the game. So I do think if Gunnersville plays against Ramsey the way they did against Fairview, I think they've got a good shot. But Ramsey's a very good team, but, you know, when you get to this time of year, you're expected to play real good teams. So we'll see what happens.
Wow. Looks like you're going to have a fun week, Greg.
Yeah, I'll be tied up, you know, Thursday, and I'm thinking I'll go out to your stomping ground, Seth, on Friday. I'll probably try to catch that Arab Moody game. And, of course, we also got basketball underway. The Lady Wildcats actually have already started out 2-0. They won a couple road games last week, and so their season's gotten off to a good start. And then I know several games are this week. I want to say Albertville starts tonight at home. I think Douglas plays, I want to say Thursday and Friday this week. And Boaz plays Friday. So, you know, here we are at the end of football, and basketball's kicking off. So, great time of year for Marshall County sports right now.
Fun time. Fun time.
It is a fun time.
So,
one thing I'd like to mention to your guys there in the studio with you, I was really thinking that Douglas could pull off that 4 seed for the playoffs and defeat Boaz. So if I'd have bet on that game, I guess I'd have lost.
We played probably the worst game we played all season. That game, it wasn't pretty.
I mean, they came out and punched us in the mouth. We didn't know what to do, to be honest.
We started our first 5 possessions inside our own 5-yard line.
We did. It was rough,
and it's hard to do anything offensively when you're in that tight of a box.
There's not many plays in the playbook when you start from your own 5-yard line.
Nope.
We watched Bryce Young go through that this last week, didn't we?
I think that has something to do with Bill O'Brien as well. That offense is not it this year.
He agrees with me. I like it. Like this kid.
Probably Boaz played the way that I thought they would maybe play all year. I really thought going into the season Boaz would be actually one of the best teams in the county. And, of course, I know they had injuries and things happen just like everybody does. But, yeah, that score really surprised me.
Watching Boaz on film, and then you watch the Gunnersville Boaz game, you watch the Arab Boaz game, you watch the Sardis, the Crossville. I mean, because Crossville broke some big plays on them watching it on film. You watch all those games, you'll think this team they're god awful, and then you go and you watch Douglas versus Boaz. Their defense looks like one of the top ones in the state. Their offense is hitting on all cylinders, and I mean, we didn't perform. They hit us in the mouth, and we didn't know what to do.
Just one of those games, I guess.
It's one of those games you wish you could go back on, but you can't.
Yeah.
That's right. Well, it was still a great year for you guys, and I think under the leadership of Coach Lyles, I think y'all will do nothing but continue to get better, and I wish y'all nothing but the best.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good stuff, man. I love Greg. I like it when Greg talks to the athletes. That was great. So, Greg, next few weeks, man, we'll be talking basketball.
Yeah, I guess when I talk to you guys next week, we'll have a second round recap. Hopefully, we'll still have 2 teams left in the county. Of course, who knows? We might have none. We'll see how it goes. But regardless, I'll have a recap of football, and then, we'll get cranking on some basketball. I know unless it changes because of the playoffs, I will be at Gunnersville's first game, which for now is scheduled at Albertville next Tuesday. But sometimes with the playoffs, we got quite a few football players playing basketball, so I don't know if that game will move or not. But if not, I'll be there. I guess I'll be heading that way right after we get off the phone next Tuesday.
Wow. And that's your favorite, isn't it?
Overall, it is. As much as I love both sports, if I had to pick one over the other, it'd be a close race. But I've always loved basketball. Of course, I enjoy calling both sports, but I've always had a passion for basketball.
Well, Greg, you always make the show so much better. Thank you so much for giving us your time.
Well, you're welcome, and I look forward to talking to you guys next week.
Yes, sir. Thanks, Greg.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Bye.
All right, bye.
We like Greg a lot, so.
He's the dude that does the Gunnersville announcements on the radio.
He does. He's Horizon Communications.
Yes.
Yeah. That's what we usually call him, the voice of the Wildcats. But he's very knowledgeable on literally everything. That's what he does, stats.
He's very intelligent.
He is very smart. So here's what we're about to do. We're about to do Buzzer Beater, and that's where we tell people on here how they can find this show, how they can find every show on social media, podcasts, everything like that. So this is what we're going to do. Matthew, I'm going to say you can find the Varsity Radio Show on Facebook, and you'll say at Varsity Radio Show. I'll point to you. You say Instagram. Jonathan, Cooper, if you'll do Twitter. Stephen will do TikTok, and I will do podcasts.
So just make sure to read the handles. Like put the @ and the underscores if you got that in there.
They're important.
Yeah. We tried to get them all universal, kind of across the board, but some were taken, and so we couldn't. Something I'm still having to work on, trying to get everything uniform.
I would say when we started the Varsity Radio Show, they put unofficial Varsity Radio Show for how many years,
I
Steven?
think it was 2 years.
2 years.
Yeah.
They wouldn't let it be the Varsity Radio Show.
Yeah.
Said the unofficial
yeah.
Varsity Radio Show.
Made it feel cooler, actually, because it was the unofficial.
We were we were like...
It's like the Renegade thing.
We were the black market version of the Varsity Radio Show, apparently.
The bootlegger version.
Yeah, I don't know what was happening there, but that's a funny story. I forgot that till you just said that, Stephen.
Yeah.
That was the battle of our life at the beginning of the show.
Between that and the big network cutting us off that time.
Yes! That's a funny story.
Yeah.
How long do we have?
About 25.
25 seconds?
Yeah.
All right. Just going to let you tell that story.
Basically, we were just throwing down on a network, and we just lost the stream. Like midstream, it just stopped. It's like they were listening, and they pressed a button.
They got mad at me.
Yeah, it was rough. All right, so this is the... All right, y'all, 5 seconds. Here we go.
The Buzzer Beater.
All right, that sound lets you know that the show is ending. I know, I can hear you crying through the radio. It's okay, we're giving you a digital hug right now because we're going to show you where you can find more comfort by listening to our show. If you want to find us after the show's over, you can find us on Facebook.
At the Varsity Radio Show.
Instagram at Varsity Radio _ show. I messed up.
Twitter, it's okay.
At Twitter, at Varsity Radio 885.
Over on TikTok at Varsity Radio Show.
And podcasts, we're everywhere. We're everywhere. We're on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Pocket Casts, Google Podcasts, and iHeartRadio. You can find us anywhere and everywhere after the show's over. And so we're hoping that our friends to my left, they actually share this tomorrow. So anyway, you'll be immortalized in podcast heaven, whatever that means. Hey, we want to see you next week. But before we go there, we want to tell you about the Char Burger. They're the home of the famous Char Grilled Wildcat Burger, Philly cheesesteak, and jumbo crispy onion rings. Do you enjoy that burger?
Yes, sir.
So good. Fills our tummy, is the fuel of the varsity. And then B&B Video Games, we talked about it. They are the pay once, play all day, 80s style arcade. And then also they got a video game retail store where they have video games all the way from the Atari. Yes, the Atari, all the way to modern games now. That's the B&B Video Games. Hey, we are so glad that you came and spent time with us today, and we cannot wait to have you back on 88.5 JFM, the Varsity Radio Show. See you back next week.
All right. Good job, everybody.
All right.